What's up, everybody? Clutch here from the Sodak motorcycle blog. How you doing today? So I'd like to welcome you. This is episode 4 of the My Favorite Ride series. And you notice how, well, right now I'm not on my iron butt ride. I'm actually, this is a few days before it. This is May 22nd, the Saturday before. But I just kind of want to start out that video here just with some my pre-thoughts and things that might be going through your head right before you're going. For me, there's a lot of I always get really like anxious. Like it's kind of it's a nervous, excited, happy, looking forward to it. It's like I always go through a range of emotions, and it's always, you know, and it's the way it is. I mean, it's that way for every trip I take. But the iron butts especially, it seems like it's a little bit worse for me. And it's just a matter of, I think a lot of it just has to do with the fact that, you know, it feels like there's more riding on it. You're trying to get the certificate. You're trying to get the certification. I think that's the biggest thing for me. It's almost like a test for me. Granted, if I pass and fail, the only one, or pass or fail, if I fail, the only one I will disappoint is myself. However, you feel that little bit of pressure. And you may be feeling the same thing. Maybe you're a few days out, maybe you're kind of feeling the same thing. But here's the big thing, just relax, breathe, take it easy, and focus on it's going to be awesome. And I think that's the big thing I always focus on. It's going to be awesome, it's going to be fun, and I'm going to see a lot of the country. Granted, some might say, oh, well, you're just going to see interstates. There's nothing to it. You know what? There's still a lot of country you can see on the interstate, I think. Maybe I'm wrong, but, you know, like I said, there's a lot of country you can see. I mean, you still go by lots of little towns. I mean, you see lots of wide open spaces. I'm going to get to watch the sunset in New Mexico, and I'm going to be in the New Mexico desert. I'm pretty sure that's going to be pretty cool to see whether I'm on the interstate or not. So, understand, it's just, you know, your point of that run, you're not necessarily trying to see everything, you're trying to get there, and that's just kind of how it is. And it's a different type of run. A few things you're going to want to do in the couple days before is, well, first of all, I would always suggest, and maybe I've never said this before, I would suggest trying to leave at a natural time for you. For example, if you're like me and you like to get going on a ride at 5 in the morning and you're always up that early, because I'm always up at generally 4:15, 4:30 every single day to go work out and get ready for work or whatever, kind of stick with your natural clock. For me, I feel better when I get up early and go. So I'm going to get up early and go on this ride. There's other people out there, they feel better at 8 o'clock in the morning, 9 o'clock in the morning. There's people that feel better at 11 o'clock at night. The biggest thing is you got to figure out for yourself when your best time to go is, and you got to go with that. The other thing you should keep in mind is your finish time. Are you one of those like me that tends to crash once the sun goes down? Are you one of those the sundown doesn't bother you? You know, keep that in mind, because like for me, I always try to, now this one I'm gonna be out a little further past sunset this time than I normally am. The biggest reason for that is just that's kind of how it's gonna have to work out. So that way I don't have to get up so ridiculous early on my second day to finish my 500 miles. I'm gonna be going out a little late on the first night, but I'm only going to be probably about, if things go right, only about an hour and a half past sunset. So I can handle that. I can suck it up for 1 hour. So you got to find that for yourself, how you want to do that. So make sure you get your provisions beforehand. I would suggest kind of maybe pre-packing your bike a little bit, kind of figure out what's going to fit, what's not going to fit. Obviously, you want to get good and packed the night before, and you don't want to, like, I wouldn't suggest, if you're leaving at 4 in the morning, I wouldn't suggest to wait till you get home from work on the night before and pack at 6 o'clock at night. I want to pack the bike up Monday night, park in the garage, get it all ready to go so it's there and it's ready and it's good. That way I only got to do a few little things on Thursday or on Tuesday night, and that's it. And obviously right before you go, do a good T-clock. So you're going to want to do it the night before anyway, but do a T, like I would suggest getting the air pressure gauge out. Like wake up a few minutes early, get the air pressure gauge out, verify the pressure in your tires, make sure all the lights work, make sure all that stuff works right before you go as well. So budget a little time for that. Otherwise, you can plan or not plan, as you've seen before if you've been following the series. I'm a planner. Although by this time, I'm at the point now, the plan's in place and it's ready to go, and I just got to execute the mission. That's all there is to it. And also be ready for changes on the fly. That's a big part of the how do we call it? That's the big part of doing the ride, is you got to be able to adjust as you go, to be able to change on the fly if you have to. And I've said that before, you got to be ready to go. As far as equipment unpacking, in addition to like some provisions and that, I'm packing my little toolkit, which I usually carry. It's the basic generic toolkit, or it's a toolkit that comes with my bike. I've supplemented it with an Allen wrench socket set, which is 3/8 drive and a 3/8 ratchet. Additionally, I have my little Gerber tool. Also, I have some fuses. Actually, I have a whole, so I've got fuses, which I always carry on the bike. I've also got my little electronic tool or electronic repair kit, which is a little kit I built. Basically, I've got a cheap multimeter in there. I've got a wire stripper in there. I've got some extra wire. I bring a terminal set with it. I got some electrical tape in there. I also got the circuit tester, my little light tester I throw in there. That way, if I need to do diagnose a light on the road, I can. And these are all things I take on my Bane trips too. Like honestly, if you're really concerned about what to pack, if you've taken big long trips before, pack what you've taken on that big long trip before. Because think about it, even at the lowest point, it's 1,000 miles, and 1,000 miles is a good long distance. So think of it like that. You may be going 500 miles one direction and 500 back in the same day, but still approach it like you would a long trip. With the only difference being you're probably not going to pack as many clothes. Also, I got a jump starter for the bike. And granted, I didn't get a terribly fancy one. I actually bought one from Menards for pretty cheap. I think it was like 70 bucks. It was a diehard set. Main reason I bought it from Menards is because I had almost $200 worth of rebate checks from all my building projects I've done the last year. So that's what bought that. I guess I could, if you want to, you could take, if you got like you could take some coolant with you if you want. Also, if you want, you can take some oil with you if you want. I'm kind of going with the approach of like, I've got a skid plate now. The chances of me all of a sudden losing a ton of oil in my engine are probably pretty slim to none. And if I lose that much engine oil that quick, I'm screwed anyway. So, but now that I got the skid plate on the bike, I shouldn't have issues with a rock coming up and cracking the block or anything like that. So we should be okay there. It helps I'm also got a Honda Goldwing, so they're pretty damn reliable. I think that's it for the introductory part. I think now we're gonna send it to me, I guess on Wednesday morning, getting ready to go. We'll see ya. When you're getting ready to start off, like I said, biggest thing is get up in the morning, get going. Kind of have all your stuff kind of set aside the night before, and basically get up and go. Like I said, the key is have everything done the night before. That way you don't have to get up in the morning and rush. So this morning, I woke up at 2:30 a.m. and I filled my cooler up, and I made my coffee, and I did the last packing, basically put my toothbrush in the bag, and then I grabbed what was left of the coffee that going to go in the cup and the thermos, and I basically put that in the cup, grabbed the Pop-Tart, and I sat down and relaxed, and I ate breakfast about 3. Then about 20 to 4 is when I got up and started moving again. So while I was sitting, I just kind of was relaxing. I watched some TV for a bit, kind of just got mellowed out a little bit, ready for the day. One thing about this, to me, this is almost the best part of the run when you finally get to do it. Because by yesterday afternoon, my mind was not at work. My mind was on this run. And I was just to the point of like, okay, I just want to get this stupid run going. I've been planning it for so long, and if you're a planner like me, it kind of gets that step of, okay, we've done all the planning we can do. We've done all the watching, we've done all the looking, we've done all the scouting. Now it's time to just do the damn thing. So that's why I think this part of the run's the best, especially right at the start, because you're finally doing it. I mean, granted, there's other parts to the run that we'll get to later that we talk about. Ooh, okay, a little overfilled there, but that's okay. I'm not going the full distance, so we're going to leave her a little short, especially if I have to go get a receipt somewhere else. Let's see if this thing prints a receipt. 401 Somerset, South Dakota. Street address 526. Hell yeah, they have good receipts here, like I said. The paperwork part. Do not forget this part. If you do, you're in trouble. Alright, then you gotta fill it out. Start 73706. Okay, there's the time. Okay, get my phone out. We gotta take a picture. Take a picture of all your receipts. Yep, you can see everything. Yep. Okay. There should be. Okay, now go to my bubbler, not voicemail. Go to my bubbler. A new message. We're going to take a picture. We're going to do the same thing again. There. One more time. Yeah, what's that there? Oh, no. Okay, there's that. Let's fill out our log. Time 4:01. Time zone, Mountain Daylight Time. Motorcycle odometer 73706. We're just gonna shut that off for a moment. GPS odometer and A. Location Somerset. SD. We got that. Don't forget, before you do leave, make sure you get your receipt stowed properly. That's what these little binder clips are for right here. Yep, there you go, just like that, and she's stowed. Put her away. There's that part's done. Make sure that updates all the way. I double check my map, make sure she's running. Not that one. Alright, yep, there's my receipt. Okay. Everything is up and running. We are good to go. So, okay. Like I said, this is the time of day when you start your iron butt run that you need. This is the time to enjoy it. Like I said, you want to maximize your stops at first. Now I'm stopping at Gillette, Wyoming, which is pretty short, but the main reason I'm stopping there is so I have my corner receipt. That's the only reason I'm stopping there. If I was going like straight on I-90, I'd probably go to about Buffalo, which is about 200 miles from where I start. So especially at first, you want to maximize the stops, make them as quick as you possibly can, because you might need that extra time towards the end if you're kind of dragging trying to get the thing done. But yeah, this time to ride, this is the time to enjoy it. Enjoy the beautiful morning, because it's a beautiful morning out. I mean, it's chilly, but not too bad. 43, yeah, that's pretty cold, but this is where your layers come in handy. So right now I've got my base layer. So I'm wearing a set of compression shorts, Under Armour compression shorts. And then they have a set of, well, like the military poly, it's like a civilian basically fleece underneath it. And then I've got my riding pants on top of it, and then I got my my liner on top of that, because I have rain pants that you can wear the liner inside or out. So I'm wearing them outside, so that way I can quickly pull it off if I want to. As far as up top, I got a t-shirt on. I got my main layer of my jacket, which is a combination wet barrier and combination warm. Then I got my jacket, which is vented, but that's why that barrier inside is so important. And then on top of it, I have my reflective vest, mainly so I can be seen. All right, well, we're just about ready to leave Wheatland now. Good news is, we're, as of this moment, 22 minutes ahead. You're gonna start getting annoyed with me talking about how ahead we are, but I'm telling you, when you're doing a run, anytime you can get ahead is great. And the other thing is, I don't plan to take it away, so I'm trying to bank as much time as I can, especially heading into a major metro area such as Denver, as we're coming up on. So I have a feeling we're going to need that if we have to run into any traffic or anything like that. But the nice thing about us being ahead of schedule now is now I don't have to take the tollway in Denver. Like, short of them completely shutting down the highway, which I am going to switch to some local radio once we get closer to Denver, so that way I can monitor local traffic. And you know, short of them completely shutting down the road, we should be able to get right through there and be in fairly good shape. So that 22 minutes is going to come in handy, and we'll see you a little bit further down the road. So yeah, that was a not needed detour. Oh well, is what it is. Hey, so when I say, when you're doing your run, when I say, hey, you got to be prepared for to go wrong, well, guess what? Just had a moment like that. Vehicle pulls beside me, honking at me, pointing, so I'm like, okay, something's not right on the back. Get up there, say, yep, we got an issue, there's a strap loose. Took it back on. Well, then I find out I can't get back on the interstate, so I follow the detour. The problem is, it's a 6-mile detour around county roads, and not to mention got stuck behind a truck that had to argue with the flag guy about there being a detour, because, I don't know, he thought he was special. But anyways, now I'm 10 minutes behind because of, or I've lost 10 minutes because of it.
Turn left and then enter the highway Interstate 25 US-87 towards Interstate 25 South.
So this is where, you know, when I say, hey, make sure and use that time up, I mean it. I mean to not, yeah. When I say save that time, oh hell, I'm looking for the right word here. To not, you know, waste that extra time you get, that's, I mean it, because absolutely that's what you need to do. Because that, a moment like that right there, that just that's where that extra 20 minutes I was ahead really came in handy, because I'm still 20 minutes ahead, but I haven't lost a ton of time. So, but like I said, happens. Alright, we're in Trinidad, Colorado. We're sitting so about a half hour ahead, so that's good. But, so we're about right damn near 700 miles in the run now. Or, well, hold on. At least 650, something like that. starting to feel a little tired, a little sore. But I'm here to tell you, stick it out. So yeah, we're just about 700 miles. So like I said, you're going to feel tired, your knees are probably sore, your butt's probably getting sore. Your helmet's probably starting to bother you, but you gotta keep fighting through it, because honestly, you're a little over 300 miles from home now, so stick with it. You can do it. You'll be fine. You just gotta fight through it, that's all. Anyways, I think I'm gonna get going here, so we'll talk to you in a bit. First time run here. You're probably wondering about, how do you account for the bathroom breaks? Well, so I'll be honest with you, I have an advantage, as in I used to drive truck over the road long haul. So I kind of know how to, because the key is you kind of got to find that point where you get yourself just to that not quite gotta go, feel like you could go kind of deal. I guess I don't know if you can understand how I'm saying it, but yeah, you could go, but it's not the end of the world. You kind of want to kind of get yourself to that point, kind of stick at that point is what you want to do. And the only way you can figure that out is time. You kind of gotta figure it out for yourself. I mean, for me, I learned over the years of driving truck how to do that, and you kind of got to develop it. It's just the way it is. The biggest thing is, I'd say at the start, don't worry about overhydrating, because honestly, you'd be better off overhydrating and having to go to the bathroom a lot than being dehydrated. So that's why I would start at first. And then as you go along, you'll start kind of learning how much you can drink in an hour, and you can kind of start measuring it by your water bottles. That's kind of how I do it. For me, I'd say, so a run for me is about 200 miles, and I could drink basically 1 cup of coffee, 1 thing of water in that 200 miles. That's kind of my goal. It's about 3 hours. So now obviously if it's hotter, you'd want to drink more, but, and your body knows. You listen to your body. If you're thirsty, drink water, because honestly you should be drinking beforehand. But and I'll be honest with you, at that point you're kind of just a little bit thirsty, not terrible, And actually I probably need to drink some more water right now anyway, but that's probably the easiest way to do it. And like I said, that's the nice thing about interstates is if, okay, you get fuel, you go to the bathroom, and then 60 miles later you got to go again. If you can find a rest stop, at least that's easy on and off, especially if you stay on the interstate. So that's kind of helpful. But all right, so right now we're about 800 miles. You got 200 miles to go. So you gotta just stick with it, man. I can guarantee you, I know you're hurting now. I know your legs are hurting now. I know you're sore. I know you're tired. If you're fighting the wind like I'm fighting, you're absolutely sick of the wind, which actually I'm kind of sick of the wind. But you just keep going, keep plugging away, keep riding, and you will get there. I'm 70 miles from my last fuel stop, and then it's another probably 180 miles or so from there to my last stop. So, and this is my longest run, so we'll get that done, and we'll get fuel, and then we'll call her a night, get some sleep, wake up early in the morning. Alright, well, just leaving Santa Fe now. Things that'll happen to you on the road. So I'm down to, I think I'm only 45 minutes ahead now. I was hoping to get more. I would have got more, but Allsup's there in Santa Fe, which is the only gas station near the road in Santa Fe, because apparently people on the highway aren't supposed to stop in Santa Fe. I don't know. Stupid town anyway. So, get there, put fuel in, no receipt. Clerk has receipt. 4-person deep line to get the receipt. Well, then the person in front of me prepays in front of me. So now we can't get the receipt. Well, so I'm like, well, it, I'll go buy a water then. So I go buy a damn water. Well, then he prints the receipt off. It's like, and then of course I feel bad because I got the damn water in my hand now. I'm like, well, okay, fine. So that was a 35-minute stop that didn't need to be 35 or 30 minutes. So now I got to put an entry in my log for 30 minutes because you have to log your 30-minute stops. I mean, fortunately it's fuel log, but you got to account for that time. But just an example of some of the stupid crap that'll happen to you when you're out on the road. I can't complain too much. This is where having that buffer again comes in handy. This is why I didn't around or screw around at some of them other stops, because, well, if I would have been running right on time with that one with, like, you know, let's say an extra 15 minutes, I would have used it all up. So that's why when you're on, like I said, when you're on time, when you're ahead of schedule, stay ahead of schedule. Don't slack, at least for a while. Now, if I was just going 1,000 miles, I probably would have just went ahead and just not worried about it. You know, I would have dinked around a little bit more. But since I am going the rest of the 1,500 tomorrow, I want to make sure I get it done. Like I've said time and time again, quick stops are everything when you're running down the road. That's where you can make up your time. So anyways, we're done with there now. Like I said, we're still 45 minutes ahead of schedule, which that's phenomenal considering that was a 30-minute stop. Even if that would have been a 20-minute stop, hell, we would have been ahead by an hour. And without that little snafu in Colorado, that's an hour and 10 minutes. That's 70 minutes basically right there. They're just from little stupid things adding up, you know. So, or well, that's 25 extra minutes basically I lost from stupid stuff. So, but you know, that's part of the deal when you're going down the road on one of these. You just kind of got to live with it, you know, because shit happens. And I will hand it to the guy. I'm glad he printed off my receipt. Like I didn't even ask for that. Like I was in line. He's like, hey, what pump you got? And oh, it was 6. Do you remember how many gallons? Well, kinda. I didn't remember the dollar total, so I had to kind of quick add in my head. And so that was nice of him. He didn't have to do that. So, and it makes it easier because then I don't have to explain, well, why'd you have a fuel stop without a fuel receipt? So that makes the paperwork on the end a lot easier. And little stuff like that is why you have your spot, why you have a spot or something that reports the spot wallet or some kind of tracker like that, because that's your backup for all of this. So in the end, the question is asked, well, why weren't you there? Where's your fuel receipt? Well, I didn't get a fuel receipt. Oh, and by the way, here's my spot wallet track to additionally prove that I was there. And they like those kind of trackers because they report to a third-party app. That's why I say you should buy the spot wallet. Although right now, and this is in May of 2021, they're still looking at switching out to a new one, meaning there's this new spot wallet tracker right now, or not. Well, I wouldn't trust the Bubbler GPS for Android because that thing doesn't report like it should. But I believe they have a free SW Connect app for your iPhone, and I think if I remember right, until they completely switch over to the new site, the new app is going to be free. Like it's a free premium, which is nice because and in the end, I would recommend buying, even if you buy the old one, for those of you that got Android, you know, you're still going to get credit for that. According to them, eventually when the whole switchover does happen, you're not going to have to buy the app again. So, but in the end, like I said, it's $10. It's $10, and if you do any kind of writing, I mean, Spotwall is the way to go. It is an awesome, awesome app. I've said it before, I'll say it again. It's really awesome. It's nice as well because, well, you can prove where you were, and also like your loved ones at home, if they got any concerns, you can give them the links and they can check you. So that which is pretty cool to me. And they appreciate it too, because last night when I got home from work, my wife asked, "Are you going to use that tracker again like you did before?" So, and like I said, she appreciates it because then she can see where I at, and then we don't got to text back and forth, which is nice because it's one extra thing you got to do. So, I highly, even if you go with the free one, it updates every 10 minutes. The pay one updates every 5. I would recommend just paying the $10, but hey, you do whatever you want. Either way, even if you don't use it for iron butt stuff, even if you just want something to go on road trips with, and your wife or significant other is always giving you a hard time about not checking in, well, you download that app for free, and guess what? You got tracking. They can go to your link, and they can go like, "Oh, hey, he's here," or "He's there." Okay. Like I said, your loved ones will appreciate that so much. And also, if you got some friends or whatever, they might want to see what your status is too. So, like I said, I very much vouch for Bubbler GPS. And I'm sure SW Connect's fine too, but I am not a Apple person. So, well, that's a fancy looking car there. Ooh, that costs some money. Well, I guess we're going to see you in Albuquerque. When you're getting towards the end of your ride, things like this you need to cherish that, because these are your reminders while you're doing it. And it's your way to have a little bit of fun and awesomeness before the end of it. Now obviously today I'm not going to celebrate too much today because I still got 505 miles tomorrow, but if you're just doing 1,000, well, my odometer says 998. I know that's not true because error. So really about 1,050 for my speedometer is where I'm at. And that's something you actually need to keep in mind. That's why you plot your route out beforehand. You don't want to rely on your odometer, especially with like a metric bike. My understanding, like the Harley Davidsons and generally and the Indians, they generally don't have that issue. But it seems like especially the Japanese bikes have that problem. So keep that in mind when you're planning out your route. Like, don't just go out and go to 502 and be like, "Yep, that's good enough," because you may sell yourself short. So always verify it on Google before you go, or know how to calculate your error. A little Route 66 town. What's that say? Laguna. Jesus Christ. Okay, this kind of sucks. Good, we're out of it. My God. Alright, well, I'm going to leave you again. I'll probably tune back in with you in Gallup, so. What a cool view, though. Alrighty, well, if anybody ever tells you that it never gets cold in the desert, well, it's 35 right now, which is actually warmer than it was. It got down to 30 there at one point, so trust me, the desert can get cold. The desert can definitely get cold. But that's the coldest we've been today, or since we started. At least I'm not dealing with fog or, you know, anything like that, or cold southeast wind like I was yesterday. But like I said, it does get cold in the desert. This is why, for you people doing this run, this is why you should make sure you take plenty of warm clothes with you so you can use your layers, because depending on where you're going, let's put it this way, if let's say you'd left Albuquerque and we're going west on your iron butt run and left in like the middle of the night, you'd be plenty warm in Albuquerque, but by the time you get to Gallup, you'd be plenty cold. So make sure you have warm clothes with you when you're doing your run, because the weather can change a lot in a couple 100 miles. But the sun is just about ready to come up now, so that's a good sign. Plugging right along, and yeah, anyways, there you go. Well, we're here. Made it. Whew. All right, let's top this off. Yep. There it is. All right, Las Vegas, Nevada. We've got a time. Hell yeah. All right, we did it. Did it. Woo. All right, when you're doing your paperwork at the end, you gotta make sure that last receipt has all that information on it, just like you did with that first one, because otherwise all that other work you did on the run is no good. So time, address, all that fun stuff. All right, end 7-5. Okay, and come on, open up. Receipt looks good. Update, there we go. All right, and we can stop it now, and let's check to make sure it went through. This one. There it is. Oh, we pulled it off. Awesome. All right. Update your log. All right. Let's keep it belongs. Okay. 73706. Double check my math, make sure I don't have to go pad the stats. Then we're going to take it times 94 for my error. Yep, we did it. Bun burner 1500 completed. Alright, I'm going to shut down and get this camera off my head for a second. Well, and there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Another banging video here from the Sodak Motorcycle Blog. Or maybe you think it sucks, I don't know, whatever. But anyways, I got more where that come from. I got 3 videos popping up on that screen right about now. So, and there's a various assortment of what's on there, so hopefully there's a video you like that's on there. If you already know you want to and you've already made it through this video, go ahead and click the subscribe button here on the bottom.